Hi everyone, welcome to this course. In this course, I will teach you how to make a fully functional responsive web page using only HTML5 and CSS3. I'm not going to use any JavaScript to add responsive behavior to a page. This series will be helpful for those who have just a very basic understanding of how HTML and CSS work and want to glue together all the pieces to make a fully functional responsive web page. So these days there are lots of CSS framework like Bootstrap, Foundation, Materialize that are used to make responsive layout. But I think you should first have the knowledge to build a responsive page without using any framework and then learn to use these framework to make your workflow fast. So with that being said, let's take a look at what we are going to make. So this is the web page that we are going to make. This page is divided into different sections. At the top here, we have the header with company logo and the nav bar. Then we have the showcase area with full size hero image and call to action button. Then we have the about section, which is divided into two parts. At the top we have the section header. The left part contains a responsive image and in the right side we have the content. Here I have used font awesome icon in this unordered list. Then we have the social links. You will learn how to integrate font awesome icon in this project. After the about section, we have this service section which contains cards. Each card has a font awesome icon, then text and a link. I have also added shadows to each card to highlight them a bit more. Then we have the project section in which images are rounded. After this comes the contact section with form elements, and then we have the footer. So now let's see how this page looks in an iPad. So if I right click and inspect, so here is the page in the iPad. So first we have a hamburger icon, and when you click on it, the nav links are shown and the hamburger icon changes into a cross mark. Here I have used a CSS trick to achieve this. After this we have all our sections neatly stacked on top of each other. So this is the overview of what we are going to make in this series, and I hope to see you in this course. In this video we will take a look at what tools we will require for our front-end development. So let's begin. So for web development you only need to have a text editor to write the code and a web browser to view the pages. So there are many text editors which are available like Atom, the Sublime Text, VS Code, PHP Storm, Dreamweaver, Brackets, etc. So many of them are free like Atom, Sublime Text, Visual Studio Code, and some like PHP Storm and Dreamweaver requires you to pay. In this series I'm going to use Visual Studio Code, which is a free integrated development environment by Microsoft, and it is great. So if you don't have it, you can download it by visiting this link, and depending upon your operating system, select it and download it. So now for the browser, you also have many choices like Firefox, Internet Explorer, Opera, Google Chrome. But here I would suggest you to use Chrome for your web development, as it has some best developer tools for web dev. So these are the two tools which you will require for the front-end development. In the next video, I will show you how to set up our development environment. In this video, I will show you how to set up the development environment for a project. So create a folder anywhere in your computer. I prefer to make mine the desktop. So right click and click on new folder. Now rename this to soft tech, which will be our project name. Now in order to open this, just drag it and drop on the icon of the VS Code here. It will get opened up. Now here we need to create different files. So the first file we need to create is called index.html file, in which we are going to write the HTML. So click on this icon here and write index.html. The second file is called style.css. This will contain the style of a page. Next I'm going to create a folder called images, which will hold all our images. So in this project I'm not going to use JavaScript, so that's why I'm not making any JS folder. So first let's talk about some of the plugins of VS Code that we are going to use, so which will help us to speed up our development process. So the first plugin is called Emmet, which allows you to type shortcuts that are then expanded into full pieces of code. And the second is Live Server, in which you don't need to refresh the page, just save it and the page will reload in the browser. So Emmet comes pre-installed with VS Code, and we need only to install Live Server. So click on this icon, and here under the extension section, search for Live Server. I have it installed. So this is the Live Server. You'll see this green button here, just click on it and it will get installed. So once it is installed, go to index.html page and right click. You will see this option, open with Live Server. So this is the basic setup of our project, and in the next video we'll make the header of a web page. In this video we are going to make the header of a web page. The header will consist of site logo and the nav bar. Now in this course we are going to use HTML5 semantic tags for a markup. So HTML5 specification introduces many new tags which are content specific. So back in the old days we have divs to block out content. Now we have different tags which we can use to group out content. So for example, we have header tag, nav tag, section tag, figure tag, footer tag, etc. So using these tags in a page helps search engine like Google or Bing to better understand and index our page, which is good for search engine optimization, and we are going to use these tags to create a markup. So now let's start with the header. So in the index.html5, we first need to write the basic markup which is present in every web page you see out there. These define the basic structure of the page. So this is the first time we are going to use Emmet. So write exclamation mark and hit tab, and Emmet will add the basic structure for us. So this doc type here specifies that we are using HTML5, the version of HTML. Here it specifies that we are using HTML5. This lang attributes specify what language we are using. EN stands for English. This head section contains metadata about our page. So what is metadata? Metadata is data about data. So think like this: data is a content and metadata is the data about that content. So metadata typically defines the document title, this title here, character set, this UTF-8, link to style sheets, scripts, and other meta information. Then comes the body. The body contains the actual content of the page, which are laid down using HTML tags. And HTML tags are enclosed within angle bracket. So this is called angle bracket. So this is the basic structure of a HTML document. Now here I'm going to change the title first. I'll write soft tech. And then I'm going to link a style sheet. So here I'll create a link tag. And in the href attribute, I'm going to specify the path of a style sheet, which is style.css. And after this, I'm going to include a fav icon for a web page. So what is fav icon? So if you look here in the tab, you see an icon. This is called a fav icon. So I've created an image called fav.png, but to use it as a fav icon, I need to convert it to fav.ico file. So to convert this, you can use internet. Go to Google and search ico file, and you can find many such online converters. So click on here, convert your image to ico format, and just drop your file. And after the conversion is completed, you can download the ico file. Now to add the fav icon, create a link. Now this time the relationship will be icon, and the href will points to that fav.ico file. Now let's save this and open a page in the browser. Right click and open with Live Server. Here you can see that we have a fav icon. So after this, I'm going to link the font that we are going to use for this project. So it is a Google font which is called Poppins. So for this, go to Chrome and search for Google Fonts. So click on this link, fonts.google.com. Here search for Poppins. So this is the font. Click on here. So these are the different variant of the font. Here I'm going to choose font weight 300. So click here, select the style, font weight 600. this one, and 700. Now click on embed and copy this link. Now go to the index.html file and after this paste here. So we have added Poppins font to our web page. So now let's create the header. So inside the body I'm going to create a tag header. This is a HTML5 tag. Inside this I'm going to create a nav tag for navigation, and inside this I'll create a H2 tag, and I'll write soft tech. This will be our logo. You can also add an image here, and then I'll create a UL tag. Inside this I'll have li. Inside this I'll have a tag. This will go nowhere, that's why I've written hash symbol. I'll give this first link a class active because I want to style this like this orange color. Then home. Again I'm going to create a li tag. Inside this we'll have a tag. This will about. Then I'm going to duplicate this line 3 more times. So if you're using Mac, Shift, Option and down arrow to duplicate it 3 more times. If you're using Windows, you can press Shift, Alt and down arrow to duplicate it. So I'm going to change this to services, this one project, and this one contact. So now let's save this and take a look. Right click, open with live server. So this is how our web page looks like at this time. So I'm going to style it. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a container to center our navigation. So I'll create a div with a class container. So write period container and tab, and it will create the div for us. And I'm going to wrap this whole nav inside this container. So the reason I'm doing this is that I will specify the width of this container to about 70% and center our navigation in the page. So now that we have written the markup of our header section, it's time to style it. So open up style.css. The first I'm going to write some general styling which will be applied to all our elements. So start with a universal selector which is represented by asterisk. This will select every element within the page. Here I will remove the default margin. So set margin 0 and padding 0. And I'm also going to specify box sizing border box. Then I will assign the font to an entire body. So I'll target the body. Font family. This will be Poppins, which I've already added. And I'm going to add a fallback, sans serif. After this, I'm going to declare a variable to store a hex value, the color value. So I'm going to use this color for our header and paragraph. So by using a variable, I can easily change my color in just one place and it will get reflected in the header and the paragraph. So for declaring a variable, I'm going to target the root element, and here a variable name starts with double hyphen mark. Then I'm going to specify the name, let's say el hyphen color, and here I'm going to specify hash 333, a gray color. After this, I'm going to target h1 tag, h2, h3, h4, a tag and paragraph tag, and I'm going to change the color to this gray color. So the way to use a variable is you write var and then within parentheses you write the variable name. After this, I'm going to target the a tag, and for this I'm going to give it text decoration none to remove that underline. Then I'm going to target the h1 and I'll increase the font size to 2.5 rem. So rem is a relative unit, 1 rem equal to 16 pixel, so 2.5 rem equal to 2.5 into 16 pixel. I'll target the h2 tag, font size 2 rem, text transform uppercase. font weight 600, and letter spacing 2 pixel. Then I'm going to target h3 tag. Font weight will be 300. Sorry, font weight will be 600 here. The paragraph tag, the paragraph will have font weight 300. In here I'm going to specify some helper classes to add some margin. So I'll declare class empty, margin top 150 pixel. This will be the margin between the sections, and margin bottom 100 pixel. So this is the general styling of a page. So now I'm going to style the header. So right after this, begin a comment. You can add a multi-line comment by clicking on command and /. So this will be a header section. In here, first I'm going to target the nav, and I'm going to assign a value height 100 pixel. Just to show you, I'm going to add a border 1 pixel solid green. Let's save this and have a look. So this is a nav 100 pixel height. Then I'm going to target h2, our logo. I'm going to float this to left. Save it and have a look. It's now floated to the left. And now I'm going to target the unordered list. So write nav ul. So first I'm going to give it a border to explain certain things so that you can easily visualize it. So let's say border 5 pixel solid red. Let's save this and have a look. So this is a UL. Here, as you can see, all the list elements are stacked vertically. So to line them horizontally, I'm going to target UL-li and then set display inline. So after this, I'll write nav UL-li display inline block. Let's save this and have a look. Now the list items are horizontally stacked. And after this, I'm going to float the entire UL to the right. Let's save. So now our UL is moved to the right. But here you see a problem. It's not centered vertically. So now I'm going to vertically center this. So in order to vertically center this list, I'm going to use a CSS line height trick. So if I specify the line height of this list to be the same as the height of a nav element, which is 100 pixel, we can center this vertically. So let's write line height 100 pixel and save. See, our list is centered vertically. So if the height of the container is known, that is in our case the nav element, then setting a line height of the same value will vertically center the child element, which in our case is the UL. Similarly, I'm going to set this also, this logo. So here nav h2, I'm going to display this as inline. I'll write line height 100 pixel. Let's see. Now it's vertically centered. Now if you take a look at our navigation here, it is not stretched and it has some spaces from the left and the right. So to do this, I'm going to wrap our navbar inside a container and give that container a width of 70% and then center it. So in the index.html file, I'm going to wrap this nav inside a container. So write dot and container. Bootstrap will automatically add the div with a class container. And here. After this I'm going to write the style. So I'm going to write the style for this container in the general section because I'm going to reuse this container with 70%. So let's save this and have a look. So this is our container now. Let's give it a border to visualize it better, 2 pixel solid, let's say teal color. Save this. So this is a container, but right now it's aligned to the left. I want this container to be at the center. So to do that, it's very simple. Just write margin auto. Let's save this. See, a container is now in the center. Now let's style the links. So first I'm going to remove all the borders. We don't need it. Remove that. Let's save and see. Now I'm going to work on this link. So here I'm going to target the A tag. I'm going to make all the links to uppercase, text transform, uppercase, and also I'm going to add some margin between the list item. So here I'll write margin from top, so top and bottom 0, right and left will be 25 pixel. So this is a link. Now I'm going to style the active link, this class active dot active. I'm going to change the background color to this color EB7620. I'm going to change the border radius 20 pixel, padding will be top and bottom 7 pixel, right and left 25 pixel, and the text color will be white. Let's save this. So this is the active link. So we have completed the header section, but this navigation is not responsive right now. So if I inspect, you won't see the hamburger icon. So what I'm going to do is first I'll make the entire web page and then I will add responsive behavior to it using media query and some CSS tricks. So in the next video we'll work on the showcase area. In this video we are going to make the showcase section. So let's start. So after the header, begin a comment, press command / or control / and write showcase. Now I'm going to begin a new section with a class showcase. Sorry, I have to write section dot showcase, and inside this I'll create a div with a class showcase content, which will wrap the entire section. Now here I'll create the h1 tag, this building website, this one. I'm going to copy this and paste it here, and after this I'll create a paragraph tag. I'm going to copy this and paste it here. So right now this text is not wrapping. So to enable word wrap, go to view and click on toggle word wrap. Then after this paragraph I'm going to create a link which will go nowhere. So I'll write the pound symbol and then I'll give it a class btn, and here I'll write explore. Let's save this and have a look. So this is how it looks like. Now I'm going to write the CSS for it. So open up style.css, and after the header create a comment. Then I'm going to target the showcase section. Here I'll specify a height, but for the height I want a showcase section to be 100 VH minus 100 pixel of this navigation bar. So I'll write calc 100 VH space minus 100 pixel. You have to add space here, otherwise it will not work. After this I'll add a background image, but before that let me add it to a project. So this is the background image. Just drag and drop it over the images folder. So I'll write background image. In the URL I'll write images bg.jpg. Let's save this. I'll write background size will be cover background repeat, no repeat. Let's save this and have a look. So this is a background image. Right now it's too bright, so I'm going to add a linear gradient. So here write linear gradient RGBA 0.5 comma RGBA 0.5 then comma. Let's save this. Oh, I made some mistake here. Linear gradient. So I've added this. So I've added this dark overlay, and now I'm going to add the border. Bottom 10 pixel solid hash EB7628. Sorry, 20. Let's save this. 20. So this is our border bottom. So now I'm going to change the color of this header and this paragraph. So I'm going to target this H1 first. H1. The color will be white. Let's add some letter spacing, 2 pixel, and then I'm going to target the paragraph. I'm going to copy this, the color will be white. So let's save this and have a look. So this is the H1 and the paragraph, and now I'm going to center this heading and the paragraph horizontally and vertically. So I'll first target the showcase content. I'm going to give it a width of 50%. Let me change it. Margin will be auto. Text align will be center. Let's save this and have a look first. So right now it is here. Let me add a border just to test. And now I'm going to move this downward. So I'll write transform translate y 30 VH. Let's save this. So we have moved our showcase content to the center, and then I'm going to style a button. So showcase content dot btn, because I have assigned a class btn to a button. So color will be, the text color will be white. Border will be 2 pixel solid white also. Padding top and bottom 10 pixel, right and left 60 pixel. Font weight will be 600. Letter spacing 2 pixel. Text transform, I'm going to make it uppercase, and I will add a transition because I'm going to add a hover state to it. So transition 0.5 second all, and then I'm going to write the pseudo class hover dot btn hover. Background color I'll change it, bg color to EB7620, and border will be 0. Let's save this and have a look. So if I move my cursor over this, you see this transition, And finally, I'm going to add margin top and bottom to our paragraph to have some space here. So I'll go to the paragraph and write margin 50 pixel 0. Let's save this. So we have added that space. Now I'm going to remove the border. So we have completed the showcase section, and in the next video we'll start working on the about section. In this video we will make the about section. So let's start. So begin a comment after the showcase section. Press command / and write about section. Now I'm going to create a section with class about. So write section dot about. Here I'm going to add the margin top class. Remember, I created m-t helper class for this. So write m-t. Now inside this I'll create a div with a class container. This container has a width of 70%. Now add a h2 tag with class margin bottom. This is also a helper class, and inside this h2 I'll write about us. So this is our section header. After this I'll create a div with a class about wrapper. This div will wrap the image and the content of our about section. Inside this div, create one more div with class about image. This will contain our image. Now first let me add the image. I'm going to drag this about image to our images folder here. And now I'm going to write the image tag. The source will be images about.jpg. After this, create one more div with class about content. So inside this div, I'm going to create a h2 tag, and I'm going to copy this text specialized in website design and development from here and paste it here. Then I'm going to create this decorative line. So for this I'm going to create a div with a class line. So after this div I'm going to create a paragraph, and in here I'm going to copy this text, this dummy text, and paste it like this. So let's save and have a look how it looks like. So right now the about section looks something like this. I need to style this, but first I'll add the markup. So if you see here, I have this unordered list, but instead of the bullet point I have used font awesome icon. So I'm going to make this list now. But before we begin, we need to add font awesome icon into our project. So first let's do that. So go to Google Chrome and go to this website fontawesome.com. Here click on this download button, and here click on this free for web. Once it is downloaded, extract it. So now we need to copy this folder into our project. So I'm just going to drag and drop here, or your copy folder, and then I'm going to create a new folder called CSS, in which I'm going to add two files. This all.min.css file and this font awesome min.css file. Now we have added all the required files. Now it's time to link font awesome into our project. So for that I'm going to go to index.html file. Now in the head section I'm going to link it. So write link, href will be css, this first one. Again I'm going to link css font awesome.min.css, and now save this. So we have added font awesome icon into our project. Now I will move on to the about section, where we are going to add the font awesome icon to our bullet list. So right after this paragraph I'm going to create a UL with class FAUL. This is a font awesome class which you need to add to a UL in order to have that icons. So inside this UL I'm going to create li, and then I'm going to create a span with a class FALI. So these two classes FAUL and FALI need to be added in order for the font awesome to work. And after this, I'll add this notch icon. So let me go to font awesome icon, and here I'll search circle notch. So this is the icon. Click on it and click on this code, copy HTML, and inside this span I'm going to paste it. And for the text, for convenience, I'm going to copy this and paste it inside the li. So let's save this and have a look. See, we have added the circle notch. Now let me add the rest of it. So I'm just going to copy this list 2 more times, and I'm going to change the content. First one, mobile app development, second one, and this one. Let's save this and have a look. Now after this unordered list, I'm going to add the social icons, these icons. So go right after the UL, and here I'm going to create a div with a class social icon. Inside this, I'll create an anchor tag. This will go nowhere, so I'll write hash. And now inside this, I'm going to paste font awesome icon code. So first I'm going to search for Facebook. So I'm going to use this one. Click here. Now click to copy this code and paste it here. Again, I'm going to create a tag. Inside this, I'll have icon for Twitter. I'm going to use this one. Click to copy, paste it here. Same for YouTube. This one. Click to copy, paste it here. And finally for LinkedIn. Let's save this and take a look. So we have added all the fonts. Now this is all about the markup for the about section, and in the next video I'm going to style it. In this video I'm going to style our about section. So in the style.css file, right after the showcase section, create a comment and write about. So first I'm going to target the about image which we have, this one, this about image, and I will give it a width of 45%, and I'm going to float it to the left. After this, I'm going to target the image itself, and I'll specify max width 100% and height auto. This will make it responsive. So if you scale the device up or down, this image will be responsive. After this, I'm going to target the content, the main content of the about section. So about content. So we have this class about content. Here also I'm giving it the width of 45%. I'm going to float it to right. And for the text, this time I'm going to align it left. Let's save this and have a look. So this is how it looks like. We are getting there. Now I'm going to make that line. Width will be 150 pixel. Height will be 6 pixel. And background color, let's say this dark color. Save this. So this is a line. So one more thing I need to stress. See, we have wrapped the about section inside a container, this container, and we have also wrapped our navigation inside this container. So all our section will be inside this container to have that 70% width, and each section will have a section header like this about section. So I'm going to write text align center. Let's save this. So all our sections which will be inside that container, the header will be in center. So after this, I'm going to add some margin to this line and to this header and to this heading. So here I'm going to give it a margin top of 60 pixel, and I am going to add a margin top 50 pixel to our line. Let's save this and have a look. So we have added that margin. Then I'm going to target the paragraph. I'll add margin top 50 pixel. Let's save this. So we have added that margin, and now I'm going to style the unordered list. So I'll target the UL, margin top will be 50 pixel. List style, I'm going to write first none to remove the default style. Then I'm going to target ULLI. So each list item, I'm going to give it a margin top 10 pixel, top and bottom 10 pixel, and right and left 0 pixel. Let's save this. So this margin top and bottom for each list item. So if you see here, all the lists are not aligned with this text. So what I'm going to do is I'll give negative margin to a list to move it to the left. So here I'll write .fali. I'm going to target a list item, and I'll write margin left minus 20 pixel. Let's save this. Now it is vertically aligned. So after this, I'm going to target our social links. So social icon, inside this we have the I tag, padding, all round padding 10 pixel. The font size will be 30 pixel, and I'm going to give it a border 1 pixel, solid black. Let's save this. Why the border is not showing? Let me check. I missed the colon. So we have the social links. Now if you look here in our finished website, I have changed the color of this icon to this orange color. So all the icons, font awesome icon is of that orange color. So I'll change the color in the general section. So inside the general section, let me add it here. The color will be EB7620. Let's save. Now our icons are of that orange color. And one final thing, I'm going to add a top margin to a social icon. So here I'll write social icon, margin top 50 pixel. Let's save this. So this is the about section, and in the next video we are going to make the service section.